All right, welcome back for part two. We just got done talking about eating around exercise. Now, part two covers of this module covers the stomach or the gut. We've talked a lot about this. The things I'll present in the very beginning are kind of review, but then I want to get to application on what we can do to help the health of our gut. So one, it's been known for a while that there's a link between our gut health and the gut bacteria and obesity. For example, if we take kids that have taken a lot of antibiotics, and that becomes very common today, sadly, lots of antibiotic use. We know that there's a link between that and obesity in these children later on in adulthood. The thought is, as we take these antibiotics, is killing some of the good bacteria that we need that's helping maintain a healthy body weight. So we're gaining weight. And so we've seen this link for a while, and it makes sense. We know that there's a relationship between bacteria and the host. So the bacteria in our stomach and us as the host, we have this relationship. And it's such a strong relationship that a lot of researchers are calling the gut the second brain, meaning the gut's dictating, are we hungry? Should we eat? Should we move? Should we not move? And so we need to really take care of our gut to maintain a normal body weight. Data that's shown this, we know that if we take obese mice and humans, that they have more firmicutes. So firmicutes is the kind of bacteria that causes weight gain. Obese mice and humans have more firmicutes, the bad stuff, than the lean ones. We also know, and I've already kind of talked about this, is transplanting gut bacteria from obese mice to lean mice will cause the lean mice to gain weight, and they didn't even eat anything. Okay, just by transplanting the gut bacteria. We also know that increased levels of harmful gut bacteria in the stool correlates with weight loss. Meaning, if you're taking that bad gut bacteria and removing it from your body, that predicts your ability to lose weight because you're getting rid of this bad bacteria that's causing you to gain weight. So people will say, well, now what can we do then? And some scientists have said, well, maybe we have to go to this idea of gut microbiome transplant, which is really disgusting. I mean, that's really what's being proposed here. So here is a inflamed gut that has a microbial imbalance, and here's a healthy gut. And so the idea is if we take fecal matter, that's what this is, from the healthy gut, transplant it into the unhealthy gut, based off all the data that we have, that person's going to get better and probably will lose weight. Because of how disgusting this isn't really an option. So really what we're left with is diet and exercise. Luckily, there's good data on the effects of probiotics, prebiotics, and symbiotics. A probiotic is something that contains live bacteria. This is like our yogurts. A prebiotic is something that I always just call it, it's almost like food for the bacteria. So take fiber. Fiber ferments in the small intestine, and it provides food it becomes a small chain fatty acid, and it provides food for the gut microbiome, and it helps it be healthy. A symbiotic is something that has both pro and prebiotics. Okay, so let's look at the data on consuming these things and weight. So here's a meta-analysis looking at the effects of probiotics on weight loss. And what did they find? So again, here's our line, all these studies, and the diamonds to the left saying, yeah, if you take probiotics, there's good data that you can lose weight. Now, I have to be careful here. If you're somebody that's already has a healthy gut environment, taking more probiotics is probably isn't going to do anything for you. But if you're struggling with obesity, this is probably one of the reasons. And this is something that can aid in weight loss. And so, excuse me. So probiotics can help you. Now let's look at prebiotics. The biggest one is probably fiber. We consume fiber in our grains and in some of our fruits and vegetables, but we don't digest fiber. And so because of it, it's fermented in the colon, and it's very healthy for us. We have two different types of fiber. We have soluble fiber and insoluble fiber. Insoluble fiber isn't really the fiber that helps with weight loss. So I'm going to cross that off. Soluble fiber slows down digestion and makes it to where you're not as hungry. So you don't eat as much, therefore you're losing weight. Good data to support this. Let me show you one study. I liked this study, and I always show this study because it was simple. Remember, we can get the most complex weight loss interventions in the world, and I never have any faith in them because people won't stick to it. Right now, you're probably thinking, what you're talking about is pretty complex. It really isn't. I'm teaching it that way because I love this stuff. But if you just stick to the concepts, okay, eat a big lunch, smaller dinner, exercise early in the day based off of the program that we outlined, you'll be okay. But the fiber intervention, it was very simple. All that they did was gave them fiber, a fiber drink. They had 250 milliliters of a fruit juice that had fiber in it, or 250 milliliters of fruit juice with no fiber. That's all they did. They didn't tell them to exercise. They didn't tell them to change it. They just gave them this drink. And they did it for 12 weeks. And what did they find? The group that consumed the fiber, they lost weight and they lost body fat. All they did is about 4 pounds. It's not a lot, but I mean, they didn't exercise, they didn't change their diet. They literally just had a fiber drink. Why did they lose 4 pounds? They reported that their hunger was decreased and their daily energy intake was decreased, meaning they just didn't eat as much. So good data on fiber. Final thoughts. Previous studies. That previous study had 100% compliance, meaning everybody did it. It's easy to do. 35 to 40 grams of fiber should be the goal. That's very hard to get in a diet. And so because of that, go ahead on fiber supplementation, Metamucil. There's a lot of fiber supplements that you can consume that can help you achieve that goal. Last thing with the stomach. So what about exercise? Research has shown that longer duration and higher intensity exercise is also really good for gut health. And then we know when you stop exercise, your health of the gut regresses. And so exercising by itself will synergistically affect the gut. Take home message: the health of the gut impacts the ability to lose weight. You can increase the gut health by ingesting pro and prebiotics and also by exercising regularly, which hopefully you're doing that. And so what's the application? I want you to select a probiotic from the list in chapter 11. So I'm talking about this list here. So this is in your book. And so again, I showed you this prior. This is the servings of carbs, fats, and proteins. And if you notice, there's some asterisks next to some of them. If it has one asterisk, these are foods that contain probiotics. If you have two, these are foods that are higher in fiber. They have at least 5 grams of fiber. So this kind of helps you choose those foods. And so select a food that has high fiber and these probiotics. And here I gave you some example of some supplements to help you get your fiber. Okay, and that's it for this one, guys. Answer the questions and keep pushing forward.